All right, mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and soul. Year 2021, self-love, taking care of yourself one day at a time. That's where we're at in 2021. Excuse me. And today's quote is, I got three of them wrote down here, and I'm trying to decipher which one, because I just write them down. I don't pre-practice these, so give me a minute. Here we go. Don't let the opinions of others consume you. Don't let the opinion of others consume you. Last week we talked about the journey. Where you been, where you at, where you going. The three aspects of the journey. But then there was aspects of that journey. You're going to come across people who have an opinion about you, who you are, what you do, what you're about, how you look, all the plethora of things you can think about when people have and voice their opinion about you. But you can't get caught up in that. It's like I said, I think a couple shows ago, it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. See, sometimes we let people's opinions dictate how we move, how we carry ourselves, who we deal with, what we do with our lives, because we're so consumed with how others see us that we're not truly being ourselves. We get so consumed in the opinions of the people that we call friends. Let me say that again. We get so consumed in the opinions of the people we call friends that there are friends under conditions. And the condition is, as long as they ain't talking about me like they talking about him, I'm still going to keep them close to me because I don't need them talking about me that way. But if you go along, get along crew, as Kwame Brown say, then you're just as guilty. Go along to get along. Opinions of people about you. Should you listen? It's not the fact of whether you listen or not. You're going to hear it. You're going to hear what people think about you. Hell, some people tell you straight to your face. But do their opinions, and are their opinions, who you are? You know yourself better than those opinions of the people who don't know you, and even the ones that do think they know you. But when we get consumed because someone feels this way about us, or they talk about us, or they said this about us, and anything like that, I would tell you this, and this is something that I had to learn growing up, because there was not growing up, but as I've grown, there's something in us that when we hear people talk about us and things like that, what we want to do is change the narrative, or what we want to do is prove them wrong. And what we do by trying to prove them wrong is we come out of character of who we are to not fit the narrative of whatever they said we are. Stop. You know you better than they do. You know who you are to your core. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Opinions are just that. Opinions. And if you let those opinions consume you and take over your mindset and dictate how you function on a regular, everyday basis, then they have taken you from being you to becoming who you think they want you to be. But always remember this, and this was a hard lesson for me to learn. No matter what people think about you, no matter how people view you, you are still accountable for what you do in this life. You are still accountable for your actions in your everyday walk. You are still accountable to you, nobody else. So when those opinions come at you, or somebody comes and tell you, well, they said this and they said that, listen to it and let it go. Because if you hold on to it, you start getting that undertones of resentment towards people. You start getting angry. You carry yourself in a different way of not being who you are. Don't worry about them people. Do not worry about it. Like the old folks you said, they talked about Jesus. They talked about Jesus, baby. They gonna talk about, if they talk about Jesus, why you think they ain't gonna talk about you? You have to get to a point in your life where you're comfortable in your own skin. And know that the people that talk about you, the people that have something to say about you, the people that, who have their opinions about you and who you are as a whole are just opinions. You wake up every day and look in that mirror, you know who you are. You know what you stand on. You know what you're about. Don't let it consume you. If there's things that's being said about you need adjustment, then make the adjustment. But don't change who you are just because of the opinions of others. It's amazing when you sit back and you listen to how people talk about each other who call themselves friends or family. And you listen to the words that come out of their mouths as far as they don't do this, or this person's this way, or that person's that way, or this, all the things you can think of that happen in conversation about probably you or conversations you've been involved in talking about somebody else. We're quick to tear down, but hesitant to build up. We are quick to tear down, but become hesitant when it's time to build up. Keep your opinions to yourself. Keep your opinions to yourself. Everybody don't need to know your opinion. Everybody don't need to, don't need your opinion to feel validated. Don't let the opinions of others consume you. Because what happens is you start taking that negativity into your own brain. And then you start minimizing who you are because of who they say you are. Stay above the fray. Don't let them get to you. Don't let those opinions wear you down. Keep